What's up guys, SC here. I'm going to start things off a little bit different by thanking our sponsor for the KCM Jan Coffee House. They don't support me directly, but they do support KCM, at least for this season of the KCM, so big shout out to them. They are supporting Broodwar, helping us to keep this tournament alive, and for that we are eternally grateful. I also want to talk about some recent things that have been going on in my life. I was in a pretty serious car accident here in Mexico. I was driving a scooter and at a stoplight I was hit from behind in a hit and run. A pretty serious accident. I ended up in the hospital for several days and just now sort of recovering for that, from that. Have a brace on my leg and some pretty bad road rash here, but other than that, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty lucky to be alive. I'm gonna get some stitches out this week, and I don't have any lasting brain damage, hopefully. I don't think so anyway. It feels okay right now, but we'll see how things are going forward. If you guys notice a difference in my casting skill after this accident, maybe we can chop it up to that. Maybe we can say that that's the reason. But I'm feeling fine now. I'm here back in my hostel, sort of setting things up to get back to Canada. Gonna be moving out of here soon, hopefully. But for now, just recovering and working on some casts. I also have a video that I produced recently, and I think I'm gonna release that. I've been sitting on it for a while. It's about the state of Broodwar and the casting community, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to release it or not, but seeing how I almost died without releasing it, I think that I'm just gonna go ahead and drop that. So that's gonna be out either before this video or after this video, we'll see. But I will be putting that out pretty soon. Anyways, guys, enough out of me. If you want to know anything else about the accident, my injuries and all that, consider supporting on Patreon. I've put it all there because it's kind of a private matter. Yeah, I do like to update my Patreon supporters on everything that's going on with me in my life, where I'm at and what's happening in the future. So definitely, if you are interested in that, you can go ahead and take a look. Now, without further ado, guys, let's get into this week of the KCM. Okay, here we go. Our first match here in week 2, 2023. Should be an exciting one. Mong versus Snow here on Vermeer. Let's get it started.
자, 행복을 전한 따뜻한 공간 파란만장 KCM 종족 창전 2023.
Okay, here we go. We got Snow in the top right, Mong down here in the bottom right, and our lineup for today shown on your screen at the bottom: Mong JyJ Mind, Best Snow Mini, Queen Soma, Jaedong. I'm liking this Zerg lineup. Of course, I always like to see Jaedong mixed in there. Mong JyJ Mind feels a little weak, if I'm being honest. I think that that's probably not the lineup that's going to take down Best Snow Mini. Best Snow Mini is a crazy strong lineup as well, so I'm expecting either a Protoss or Zerg first place here, and second place, and probably Terran to come in third, but could always get some surprise results. This is the new season, this is the new maps here, so there are going to be some crazy games on 76. Of course, we're going to get those new maps, the other, damn it, I can't remember the names of them right now, but we will bring them up when they show up. For now, it's just going to be on Vermeer here. Snow versus Mong on Vermeer. I feel like heavily favoring Snow, but Mong spawning down here in the bottom right does have the benefit of no cross spawn here. It's just vertical spawn, so a push straight towards the natural might get him into a good position. He could also take a base on the right hand side of the map as he pushes that out and towards the enemy base. So we'll see if that ends up working out for him. I feel like this is a relatively balanced map. It's kind of the successor to Polypoid, but I'm glad to see it back here once again. It is on the ladder pool right now, and I think it's having some good success. I feel like this is a map we're going to see for a very, very long time, actually. Could be in the next, 4 or 5 seasons of ASL, if we're lucky. But just a very nicely balanced map with a lot of good features, good updates that have kind of helped out different matchups and made them a little bit more enjoyable to watch, a little bit more balanced. Now we've got the factory coming up here. Mong just gonna go ahead and open nice and conservatively here. Same thing goes for Snow. See, he hasn't thrown down a Nexus yet. Just gonna get a Dragoon here immediately. Not even going to build a Zealot. This is a build that has stood the test of time. I believe this is going to be 2 to 3 Dragoons into an expansion here, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, he's sending out that probe right now. I might actually have messed it up already, but yeah, it looks like he's going to take that Nexus right away. Right after the first Dragoon, so a little bit more aggressive with the base stake there, but he is going to be building a few Dragoons here and just using them to put a little pressure on Mong, make sure that he is stuck inside of his base here, and he's not going to be coming out with any marine tank push. He should be able to hold off anything with those first few Dragoons. Meanwhile, Mong grabbing his own expansion here. Going for a Vulture first. Now, can this Vulture get out before the Dragoons close on the natural? I think he is going to be able to exit the base here. It's going to be tight. Oh, just barely. Yes, he does manage to sneak by. As Snow darts in there to go ahead and confirm that command center is on the way. Starport in the center left. That's an interesting place to put that starport. I thought maybe somewhere around the top side might be a little bit more advantageous, but the distance here seems pretty similar from bottom right up to top right, or center left to top right. Seems like you're not saving a lot of time in that regard. However, maybe you can slip that dropship out without Snow actually knowing about it easier. We'll see. It's kind of a big risk to put this out on the map where Snow is searching around for that SCV. He knows there's an SCV out here somewhere. He knows there's a possibility of a Vulture as well. 2 Vultures just moving out of the natural here. Should have mines on the way. Doesn't have a single tank just yet. Oh god, he's gonna spot this. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's huge. That is huge. Snow actually finding this dropship, finding this starport there is massive, and he gets the block off here. Mong not even gonna finish that dropship either. Oof, that is painful, guys. That is very, very painful stuff. He's gonna have to float that starport all the way back to his main base before he can do anything with it. Otherwise, I think Snow will just track that down. Oh, he actually comes back and lands. What the hell? Snow just retreated with the Dragoon. I guess he doesn't want to get surrounded by Vultures and mined to death, so he just leaves that, and Mong floats back, lands, and starts building the dropship again. So maybe actually Snow won't expect a dropship to fly in, considering he pushed that away. It takes a long time to go and build another control tower somewhere out on the map, or to find your way all the way back to the main base before building it. It's gonna take a long time, so maybe you won't expect this dropship flying in here. Yeah, his Dragoons are way out on the map, and Snow, with his incredible scouting and game sense, may actually end up stabbing him in the back here. The fact that he found this and then pushed it away and then let it build a dropship anyway, it could end up really, really hurting him here. Now, flying through the third base, that's going to reveal this dropship right away. So actually, Mong not going to get any damage here, aside from killing that one single probe. And the dropship is now trapped. So, okay. A bit of back and forth there. If that Nexus hadn't been up with the probe next to it, maybe if the Nexus was just building and the probe was not in the vicinity, he might have been able to sneak by there above the Nexus with the small vision of the Nexus. Actually, there's a pylon there too, so probably still would have been spotted. But great response by Snow, getting his dragons back into position and completely diverting that that harassment attack. So now we've got Mong here. What is he gonna do for a follow-up? I guess it's just gonna be pure up mech from this position. Since you've already built that starport, you're not just gonna go 5 factory and try to kill your opponent immediately off of 2 base, because you might as well just get the science facility. You've already got the starport, and then eventually get into... Oh, getting some probes here in the main base. Nicely done. 2, 3 probes. Might get a 4th. No, looks like the Scarab. Oh, a 4th probe. Indeed, he does manage to snipe that down. Pretty decent damage there, despite being kind of stomped in multiple areas by Snow. And there's the second armory, so that's what I was going to say. Getting into a second armory, going for +2, and getting into a 3rd and possibly a 4th base before doing any sort of really large push out. Now on the side of Snow, main base just showing a Reaver here. So Reaver drops, definitely the bread and butter for Snow in his Protoss versus Terran play. There's that science facility, so indeed going to be up mech 100%. And we're not going to see this game end anytime soon. Snow probably going to go ahead and snag a 4th base here very soon as well. I'm expecting it at any moment now, because he is getting some information, some good information in the natural. He's got an observer there. I don't think he actually has a observer in the base right now. I can't see on the minimap, but he should know that the up mech is coming with that starport being built earlier, and should be getting prepared for that. Just a large macro game here with lots of shuttles, lots of Reavers, and of course lots and lots of gateways coming up in the main right now. Cybernetics core is spinning though. Interesting. Did he forget? No, he didn't forget the range. He's going to be going into carrier from here. There's the first shuttle, trying to find a way into the main, but only taking a single missile shot as it darts around the outside. Ooh, this is big. This is big. Getting a couple of good shots here while Mong's not paying attention. Oh, that one dudded. That would have been a massive kill there with about 4 vultures around that Scarab, but does manage to escape. Cannot allow your vultures to sit out in the front like that. Scarab shots can kill them in 1 hit, and if you don't have enough vultures for this first attack, when Snow comes in with his Zealot Dragoon force, he can just easily break you. 3 Goliaths are here, so he can try to shoot down this shuttle as well. I'm not sure if we have the Goliath range upgrade yet. Goliath range is the longest upgrade in the game, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is. Not sure exactly the amount of time it is, but it is a very, very long upgrade. Double shuttle here, ready to go. And Mong now moving forward. Shuttle dropping Zealots on the high ground here. Manages to kill one of these tanks anyway. 1 tank for looks like 2 to 3 Zealots. Meanwhile, Snow just transitioning into his carrier play. I think this is going to be unexpected. Mong probably not going to peg Snow for a carrier player. I certainly wouldn't. He's much more used to going for these crazy builds with tons and tons of shuttles and tons and tons of reavers just throughout the game. So the switch into carrier, it works very well here with the reaver opener, but I don't think it's something that Mong will be expecting. He hasn't scanned the main to find that out yet, that this is actually coming. So the carrier transition has commenced. The 4th base is on the way. Mong is taking his 3rd base, going up mech. This is perfect. A perfect situation right now for Snow to be getting a carrier build going. You can see Mong now just finally grabbing that 3rd base. See if he starts another command center here. That's quite a few factories. He finally scans it. Okay, he scans for the cybernetics core and finds the carriers are on the way. So his entire strategy here, everything he was planning, is going to have to change at this moment. He scans and sees the army size right now. It's still a pretty considerable army here for Snow at 171 supply. It's not going to be easy to break. So even if Mong were to just pull the trigger right now and try to go across the map, I'm not sure if he would be able to make that happen. He's stopped his upgrades. Upgrades have halted here. I believe he's at 1-1. Is he just gonna put all his money into a massive attack right now and try to end things before the carriers come out? I feel like you've already gone this far. It would be kind of foolish to try and skip upgrades and go for a massive attack. You might as well get those upgrades, try to get a 4th base, try to become just a massive force on the map where you can actually fight the carriers with your Goliaths over and over again. Of course, it will be very tough, but and kind of the easier way to play this out is just one massive attack. Try to take the natural before carriers are up and operational. But yeah, looks like he will be continuing those upgrades now. Maybe just a little slow on starting the +2/+2. However, he does have that on the way now. He can push forward and perhaps take a 4th base while shoving towards the natural. And 3rd Stargate is present as well, and Snow is about to max out. So this is the perfect time actually for Snow to fight. Taking a big fight here would work out very well for him. He can actually start to remax on carriers. He's about to run out of that supply, so taking a good trade, killing a bunch of tanks perhaps would be really, really strong for him. Coming in with the carriers to clean up a little bit later would be great as well. Here comes the 2 Reavers trying to get a shot, but neither of them managed to get a single shot off with their Scarabs. It's unfortunate so far that Mong's been able to get this much distance on Snow without actually taking a full engage or any damage from those Reavers, but Mong is making a really good push here, and the Dragoons are caught on the left side. Wait a second, not moving the Dragoons back in time. He loses about 3 or 4 basically for free as those tanks siege up right on top of them. Now here comes the carriers. That's a lot of Goliaths, but I don't see any turrets mixed in to kind of assist this army. We'll see if this ends up working out for Mong. It's going to be really hard to end the game right now, as Snow can kind of just pick away at this army as it comes forward. Here comes the carriers trying to launch their interceptors, but he hasn't primed them by sending them out onto another building, it looks like. Okay, maybe he did. That's quite a few interceptors now. Starting to pick off these Goliaths in the group. You can see he's just going after Goliaths. He's not caring about the tanks right now. Killing as many Goliaths as he can. He's trying to take the win in the air right now. His ground army has been kind of decimated at this point, but is retreating to the left-hand side in order to defend that top left 2 bases there, the main and the natural. Very important that he keeps those alive. Looks like pulling back that carrier just barely in time, and you can see Mong, he unsieged all his tanks and decided to turn. Whoa! those zealots kind of wasting their lives there, or Snow wasting the lives of those zealots. I feel like just diving on the tanks would have been a lot better, but they all died to the splash damage as they were running away, rather than just diving on top and actually drawing some splash damage onto the tanks. Now these carriers are actually being picked off pretty efficiently here by Mong. Oh, barely not getting that one though. And the carrier number is continuing to grow. This army moving around the bottom side of the map. We've got a 4th base here for Mong as well. Mong setting up for a later game, but where are all his Goliaths? He needs to rally up Goliaths here and support this army. Tons of probes being transferred over to the top left-hand corner. Of course, the natural can now resume that mining as well. And Mong's looking to be in a precarious situation here with a massive carrier force over this high ground. Going to be really hard to shoot them down. Oh, there's one that was damaged. He manages to right-click that and finish it off. Carriers running forward here once again. Not the greatest use of carriers that I've ever seen. I feel like someone like Stork can absolutely utilize these to the greatest potential. Meanwhile, Snow, this is not really his specialty. He's a much more adept player when it comes to using Reaver Shuttle, the Templar Storm Micro that precedes that when you go into that style. But he's struggling a little bit to take fights here with the carriers. However, now he's kind of found the open backside of Mong. Oh, he runs forward once again, loses another carrier. That's not good. Kind of sacrificial carriers running forward here, just trying to take a good fight with these Goliaths, but Mong is doing a great job of diving forward every time the carriers are out of position and picking one off. He's got his tanks up here in the top left, killing this base. This is looking like a Mong game right now. 152 supply to 134. And the Snow with there's nothing defending this base in the right for Mong, but he hasn't moved to actually deal with that. Now these tanks are going to get up here, kill a ton of probes. He may even kill that base as well. And Mong, all he needs to do is hang on to one of these two bases, the base in the center right or the base at the bottom center, and continuously produce Goliaths, and he should be able to have this game. Army heading towards the natural right now for Mong. That has to be dealt with. Mind's taking out Dragoons in the middle of the map. He's going to come up here and shut down one of the last mining bases for Snow, who actually he's managed to snag one more base out there in the front and is holding that for now, but pretty much one base Protoss. I guess there is still some minerals at the natural, but he's really running out of minerals. If he loses his base, he's going to be in a really, really tough spot, and I think Mong will be able to just focus that down and kill that Nexus here before these carriers can do their work, dealing with all the tanks and Goliaths. So that base going to go down here, and things are looking really desperate for Snow, even though he has 9 carriers. And 9 carriers can do a lot of damage. It's still going to be very rough going here for Snow as he continues on in this game. Look at how few probes there are. I'd love to see the probe count at this point, because I feel like it's around something like 20 to 30 probes for Snow, whereas Mong, I think he's got at least 50 to 60. Even gonna try and take a base down in the bottom left. This is smart from Mong. Taking more bases right now. There's just so much that Mong has to deal, or that Snow has to deal with right now. And he has to fight this army. He has to get damage, so he can't be going around scouting everywhere on the map at the same time. He can't be finding all these bases, and there's a ton of turrets over in this location, but no army, so Mong gotta move his stuff over here to keep this alive. Otherwise, this could end up going down. However, I think he's gonna be fine. Even if this command center happens to fall, he can pull these SCVs away and just saturate 6 o'clock, try to take another base in the bottom center. It's still not good for Mong. He needs to move to counter these carriers now. Got all those probes in the top left-hand corner. What is that, 10 probes? So probably a third of his probes just doing nothing there in the top left. Snow still has a decent amount of money right now. He's spending that on mostly interceptors, I imagine. That is a ton of missiles coming out, though, from all those Goliaths. They should have +3 by now. And just clear out those interceptors very, very quickly. Nice job cleaning up some of these probes at the third base. You can see, oh my god, about 9 probes total right now in the natural and main base. Probably another 5 or 6 over in the third as well. Ooh, a ton of wraiths have now come out. Does he have an observer with this army? This could be the killing blow. There we go. Cloak wraiths coming forward. About 5 or 6 of them. Oh, one observer is available. He scans and sees it, but pulling that observer back means that, oh, he goes for it. He's going for it. Here's that. Oh, he gets the observer. And this should be it. Just gunning down these carriers one by one. 3 carriers have fallen already, and only 6 remain. There's some more observers coming up, but he will pull back in time here, losing just a couple of wraiths for killing off a good sizable chunk of carriers. Now, Mong can continue to use these wraiths here, try to pick off 1 or 2 carriers, maybe just go after the low HP ones as they start to get damaged by the Goliaths here. But for now, he's just going to hang back, hold a defensive position, and kind of tempt Snow to come at him while keeping him stuck on 3 bases. Yeah, this is a great positioning here for Mong's army, just keeping it right on top of this high ground. Not too many tanks here in this army, just a few, just enough to hold back the ground army from fully committing to an attack here. You can see how few probes are over here for Snow. And every time the army comes forward, every time these carriers try to engage, tons and tons of missiles flying out. A huge amount of Goliaths are present, and a few wraiths just adding in that DPS, picking off as many interceptors as possible. Snow not really able to find a location to attack into, and more probes are going to go down here once again. Looks like about 6, 7, 8 probes going to fall. Very quick succession. Oh, the very last probe goes down. All the probes have fallen, and Snow just looking to be in desperate straits here. Yeah, I don't think he really has enough money to even produce interceptors at this point. There's the probes from the top left, now going to make their mad dash across the map, see if they can survive until they get back to this third base and actually saturate that location. No further bases have been taken from Mong. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. He could definitely try to take some bases in the bottom left, and there wouldn't be too much that Snow could do about that at this moment. Looks like the wraiths have been spotted and will end up being killed off. There's only 2 remaining, so that ship has sailed. That strategy is kind of dead at this point. He's going to try and get a couple probes off of this. I don't think he's actually going to get anything, but it was a nice try. You just fly around, take a look at what's inside the main base, what's left over here for Snow. And there we go. Mong actually going to take a base down here, start building turrets in that location. Mong, just build as many turrets as you can and try to hold that spot. It'll be very, very rough for Snow to spread out his army and actually take down that location. So this massive, nearly max army from Mong, what is it going to do? Is it going to continue to stay here and just sort of camp out, wait for Snow's advance, or will he come across the map and actually try to attack? Looks like he's thinking about holding the middle of the map, just sieging up in that area and forcing Snow to take the long route all the way around in order to attack bottom left. Kind of like what he was doing earlier by just sitting on the high ground there. Ooh, coming a little bit too close. Those Goliaths could definitely start to focus down some of these carriers. A lot of Zealots in this army, and Goliaths do not do very well against them. All of the Interceptors, though, have basically run out here. That was so many missiles from the Goliaths, just gunning down every single Interceptor, and GG is called. Snow taps out, and Mong is victorious. Alright, it's gonna be Soma versus Mong on 76. Now this is exciting, guys. Just a quick note, Mong did get a nice clapper from KCM after that performance. That was a crazy upset, actually. Really did not expect to see Mong take down a Snow in that situation. For sure, that was a really big accomplishment there for our Terran player. But now he's gonna go up against Soma on this map, this crazy map. And it looks like he's starting off with an early barracks. Now this is something I predicted in my video about 76, that some very crazy early barracks builds could be possible. Whoa, that's a lot more minerals than there used to be. Maybe this is an updated version. But yeah, with this base in the back, this double gas base in the back being so easy to take, getting out on the map and dealing some damage really early on with a very quick barracks can be advantageous, very advantageous. That mineral has disappeared, and now we're back to just regular mining here. That fastest possible mineral is gone, and no spawning pool here just yet, so Soma could be in a little bit of trouble if he doesn't get that spawning pool up in time. There is a chrysalis at the front of your natural, or at the front of your main base, that you can actually build a sunken colony on high ground in that location. See right there on screen now. Sunken colony can go on that location, and basically no amount of Marines in the early game can break it. But if he doesn't have the sunken, or if he doesn't have the, oh, is he gonna lose his drone? Oh! So close. So close, he almost lost that drone. But does manage to push away the Marine, or the SCV there, and we'll see these Marines as they come out. Oh, he's actually forcing the Marines to chase a little bit. That's great for Soma here. I think he will end up building the sunken colony on that chrysalis. Yeah, go, build the sunken. Build the sunken. No, he's not going to do it. Okay, just going to fall back for now. He will have to fight with drones here. Got to get some vision of a mineral patch. If he can, pull back the drone that's damaged. Pull back the damaged drone. Okay, lost one drone. One drone going down is not enough to make this worth it. Two drones is getting there. It's definitely getting there, but it's not quite there yet. And Mong, he sacrificed a little bit of early economy in order to get this damage done, and only two drones. Probably not going to be enough. Now this is something we also saw in my video about 76, was a factory float. He's gonna pick up this factory, float it into the back natural here. Now you can't send any defenses over to that location. Of course, you can't actually run vultures up that ramp, as we're seeing on screen. That ramp is completely invulnerable to vultures. You just can't go up there, and he's going double starport after this. Okay, float the factory into the back base, buddy. Don't float it over into the main. Getting a little greedy here is Mong, trying to float it into the main and get some damage that way, but there's already a Ling here, and the Ling is just going to stand there and reveal everything, and even maybe stop the factory from landing. If he had gone for this back base, yeah, he probably could have landed just south of this position, built a couple of vultures, and actually done some damage. But now he's kind of screwed. He's not actually going to do anything with this. That's a bit unfortunate here for Mong. However, he does still have to follow up with the double starport here. We'll see what he can get done with that. But this is a complete flop. Oh, he actually manages to land somehow. Getting onto the ground is a pretty big accomplishment in this situation, but there should be a Hydralisk Den on the way. Where's the Hydra Den? Okay, we don't have a Hydra Den here. There's going to be a Sunken instead. All right, Soma. He is probably going to end up taking some damage from this Vulture, despite having every advantage in this situation. Going to lose one drone. Nope, pulling back nicely. Keeping the drones alive for now. The Vulture here playing very conservatively. Staying away from that. Oh, and there's the Wraith now. Wraith gonna come in here and get a couple of kills as well. And we've got some Scourge on the way here. We've got some Mutalisk on the way as well. But he can get behind this area here. He can sneak around the side. And there's the Burrow. Oh, so good by Soma. So when he saw that coming in, when he saw that floating building immediately going into Burrow is so clutch, actually. That was a really smart play. I love it. And this is going to allow him to deal with these couple of Wraiths, and he will be able to push away the Vultures without losing too much more HP or too many more drones. This is a brilliant tactic here from Soma. I love it. Just taking this kind of crazy situation and really bending it to his will here. Now gonna go ahead and unburrow his drones a little bit too early. Here comes some more Wraiths. He's not burrowing. Burrow. He needs to burrow over here. He lost a few extra drones at that main base as well, so kind of flubbing a little bit in the execution here as he cleans things up, kind of trying to get back to work a little bit too early. Just clear out those Vultures first and deal with the Wraiths properly, and then you won't lose any more drones and you'll be in a much better position. But actually, he kind of messed that up there, and now he's in this situation where we've got cloaked Wraiths and not many drones are left over, so any drone kills is going to be huge, here. He does preemptively burrow this time, so getting those drones burrowed right away means he's not going to lose any more drones at least, but he's still in kind of a rough spot. The Overlord's speed should be on the way now, and there are of course 2 gases in the back natural here, so those 2 gases are going to mean a lot in this matchup. Having 3 gas as Zerg right off the bat against a single gas Terran player, that's kind of crazy, and it's going to become very heavily imbalanced in favor of Soma here very soon if Mong doesn't manage to deal some more damage and prevent Soma from just kind of sitting back and eventually saturating those 3 geysers. Now he'll probably even have to go into Valkyrie here pretty soon as well, because you're just not going to be able to deal with the amount of Scourge and Muta that's available, that's going to be available for Soma. Oh, he gets 2 more drones. Nicely done, and backs away safely here. Really good move for Mong, although he's gonna get caught now, getting caught with the Wraiths, and he doesn't have enough energy for some of these to cloak right now, and Soma just going to sack some Mutas, take some damage, some extra damage here to kill off a few more of these Wraiths. I like this idea because the gas is severely limited for the Terran player, and you've just got kind of endless income here as Zerg with those 3 gas geysers. So trading out a few Mutas for a few Wraiths is definitely a good trade in my mind at in this position. Adding on some more drones at that back natural. Still, it is very difficult to get a full saturation that back natural because you do have only 1 hatch there, and you've got the 2 gases, so it takes a long time to get enough drones in that area to actually fully saturate. It might be in the future we'll see players add on macro hatches in that back natural and do a three hatch muta with 3 gases with the bonus hatch in the back natural, so that you can just pump infinite mutas and you can really saturate that back base a lot quicker. But for now, Burrow being utilized here by Soma in order to just delay this this base take here from Mong. Now he's going to lose a few Marines here at the front. I don't think he has range because I don't think we have stim, so definitely stim going to be the first upgrade there, and eventually he will be moving out with those Marines. We still haven't seen a sunken colony placed for Soma at his front natural, which kind of worries me a bit. He really should have a sunken in that area just to keep himself alive against a Marine push like this. Even 1 or 2 sunkens makes a huge difference on that tiny ramp. But it looks like now he is going to throw down that sunken, so as long as Mong isn't pushing directly across here without being delayed at all, he should be able to have that up in time. Here comes those Wraiths. They've done a great job picking off mutas as they walk across the, or as they rally across the map. Here comes the Marines stimming up here, trying to get some damage, but this is so many mutas now. This is like, what, 12 mutas in this pack? Yeah, 12 mutas here, and more being pumped out every second. There's only a very few Wraiths in this army, and no Valkyries means that you just can't really push against this. I'm surprised to see him continuing to just produce Wraiths here, because I think this is a losing strategy. Maybe Mong hadn't really planned for this eventuality to occur, but you gotta switch things up. I mean, it's a lot of gas to get Wraiths, or to get Valkyries, but Wraiths are just so useless right now. They're not going to be able to take fights with these mutas, and yeah, Soma is just going to run this over now with a massive, overwhelming number of mutas. He can take this fight directly, even if he doesn't take it perfectly, and Mong gets lots of extra shots off. He's still going to eventually be able to clean this out. And those Wraiths are getting lower and lower in HP, and the splash damage from the mutas, the glaives, is just way too strong. Look at the Wraith numbers dropping here. Actually, the mutas are almost running out. There's only 1 or 2 mutas left. Over 1 muta, 2 mutas left. He's going to lose these overlords. Where are the rallies here for Soma? He's going to get 2 more overlords. Whoa, 3 overlords go down, and a 4th. That is massive, actually. He will be chased down a little bit here, but great micro from Mong this game. You can see he's definitely been practicing his Wraith control. Still, Soma pushing forward once again with a massive rally of mutas. There's 5, 6 mutas here, and yes, Mong is starting to push this away, but as the energy runs out here and these Wraiths are forced to fight kind of on even footing, the Wraiths will eventually lose. The mutalist number is just way too high, and actually running or getting a supply deficit at this point. Mong just not able to keep up. The single gas versus 3 gas is really what it all comes down to. Eventually those gases in the back natural there on Soma's base will run out, but it's still going to take quite a long time, and during that period I think that Soma will be able to overwhelm this with his just very solid mutalist control and overwhelming numbers. Here we go, taking yet another fight back and forth here. This is kind of a grindy way to take down a Terran player. Oh, he's actually just now getting drones into that 3rd geyser, so he hasn't built a lot of drones in that location, and that's kind of the problem with having the back natural separate from the main, is you just can't get those drones over there. So he has been pushed away once again. This is surprising to me that Soma hasn't managed to overwhelm him at this point, but I guess that comes down to the earlier kills with the vultures and the Wraiths just kind of slowing down that economy not allowing him to saturate that back natural for so long now. He's coming forward once again, looking to end things here. Soma hasn't started another base. Oh no, he has up in the top left-hand corner. That top left-hand corner base, very difficult for Mong to get out and actually prevent from going down. So I think that we're actually going to see that base finish up here and drones start to saturate that location. And with that, he'll be on 4 gas economy. So a 4 gas right now economy versus a 1 base Terran player. How is he holding on? I really don't know. But Mong making a good show of it nonetheless. Adding on some turrets here, trying to push down his own ramp a little bit. Would love to grab his natural because he really needs that mineral income. His main base will run out eventually, so hanging out here in the front. Soma just continuing to put on that pressure, keeping Mong back kind of endlessly here, not allowing him to move forward, and still no Valkyrie. This is perplexing to me, guys, that there's no Valkyrie mixed in here, because Valkyrie is just so good against these massive clumps of mutas. The constant Wraith production just doesn't really make sense to me. But Mong, I mean, he's still alive, so he's doing something right. I guess that is the Wraith control. The benefit of having Wraith with that cloak and a good control, you can take out overlords. You can constantly take good fights with the mutas as long as the overlords aren't right there with them. And if you're even stronger than your opponent with the micro, you can actually get pot shots off because the Wraiths are just so incredibly microable. I think they're even easier to control than Mutalisk, but I'm a Zerg player, so I may be biased. Now we've got back up to, I think, 10 Wraiths here in the main base for Mong. He's used all of his gas in order to build these Wraiths, so this is his nest egg right here. This is all he's got. He's built into this small army throughout the entirety of this game, just fighting back and forth with Soma. And look at how many mutas are available for Soma now. This is kind of insane. I feel like an A move from Soma at this point may just win him the game. He's got like 2 full groups of muta here. Maybe not quite 2 full groups, but getting very, very close. And he can continue to produce now on 3 gases, but he can take that 4th gas here very soon as well. Actually, he's got kind of a glut of gas at this point, so maybe getting some minerals going, not a bad decision. Now gonna fly here into the main base, look for some turrets to kill. Maybe go after some SCVs as well. This is 2 different groups of mutas, by the way, being microed at the same time. He loses the Overlord, so he's not going to be able to dive on the Wraiths at this point, but he is killing quite a lot of SCVs, going after the Overlords once again, trying to get rid of them so that he can take a good fight with these SCVs, but all of the Marines are dead. All the SCVs are dead, and yeah, there's really nothing that Mong can do except for try to kite these around. Although his economy is completely gone, there's really nothing left here for him to do but tap out, because Soma, he will not stop. He will continue to build mutas and rally them across the map until you are dead. It looks like 3 Marines making their way into the top left-hand corner. Could end up killing all the drones in that location, but even that I don't think would be enough to make this back into a reasonable game, a fighting position. So GG is called. Mong taps out, and Soma takes this game on 76. Okay, a very, very nice match on 76 was that last one. Really, really good to see a decent back and forth with a Terran and a Zerg. I think that's going to give us quite a few interesting matches in the future. Really looking forward to that. I feel like Mong played it out very, very nicely, but maybe his main mistake was landing the factory in the main base. I feel that as a Zerg player, getting some drones in the back natural is super, super important, and being forced to build anything back there besides drones slows you down enormously. So landing it in the back natural, building some vultures there, and then starting to harass that location can force out lings. It can force sunken colonies, which is just minus a drone every single time you need to build something back there. That's not a drone. It slows down the economy so much because you just can't transfer drones from your main base to your natural to that back location. So I feel like a missed opportunity there for Mong. Maybe other players will take that advice, will actually use that same sort of build, but actually go for the back natural instead. But we'll have to see. We'll see how the game on 76 evolves over time here throughout KCM and of course ASL. But for now, we are on to Mini versus Soma. This is on no, what the heck is the name of this map? Nemesis. That's right. I was thinking Oblivion for some reason. Why did I think that? Not really sure, but this is on Nemesis here. Soma down here in the bottom left, cross map, and a Zealot is headed across here from that gateway first. So this is a long rush distance for this first Zealot, and actually he's gonna send it in kind of a weird direction here, maybe hoping to send it in a little bit later, try to slip it by what Soma's lings or something, try to get in there. No, he's actually looped it around and sent it back home. So realizing that Soma's gonna have sufficient lings to deal with that, we'll just go ahead and retreat to his home, keep it safe that way. Now Soma takes the base in the top left hand corner. We haven't seen this a lot from Zerg players on this map, taking a main base as your third. And it seems like a kind of a crazy maneuver here. Most players in Zerg versus Protoss will either take like one of these island bases, or they're gonna go ahead and snag a natural, because when you have that natural base, if you want to go into Hydra build, you can kind of block up that area with some extra hatches, with some extra buildings, put a bunch of sunkens there, and kind of hold that location, eventually take the main base after that. But Soma just going directly for the main. It's a curious move here, and we'll see if it's actually spotted out by Mini as that probe heads over in this direction. It's not. So Mini doesn't know about that base, and that actually plays into the hands of Soma a little bit here. Maybe he can keep that hidden for a while and go into something like a meta build, where it doesn't really matter that he doesn't have the army kind of, or the buildings kind of blocking up his natural, where he's not actually going for Hydras. But we'll see how this pans out for him. Now link speed is done, so that probe is done as well, and the links can now get over here and kind of protect, make sure that no probes come out of this area and go for that scout. Of course, probes can still go through the top, through that kind of island base there at 12 o'clock and get over to the top left. But we'll see if he actually does that. Mini is kind of lost as to where he is in this game right now. He's probably suspecting a third base somewhere on the map, but he actually just does not know about that. So he's gonna have to wait a little bit until he can get some Corsairs out on the map. And right now, someone gonna take the liberty of killing off a few of these simulators here. Maybe he wants to take a later base in that location, that left a location, but most players tend to not want to kill the assimilators when they take a base there. They actually want to kill the eggs so that they can allow things like Hydras to flow through that area and get into the main into the main part of the map, into the middle of the map. But if Soma is indeed going for kind of an air game here, just gonna build a ton of mutas, then maybe he actually doesn't need to have a route out of that base, and would prefer to just have that locked off. Now, in Evolution Chamber in the top left-hand corner, It's a little bit interesting. Having the evolution chamber there makes me think he actually wants to go Hydra, but it remains to be seen at this point. Like Ling kind of trapped in the bank here for now. Maybe he wants to go ahead and take out that egg in the bottom left-hand corner. Just open up a route into his main base. But here comes the Corsairs now. They've killed a couple of Overlords, but this is 2 Stargate. So there's going to be a ton of Overlord deaths here in the future. There's that evolution chamber. Does he want to throw up some spore colonies here in order to keep himself defended? There's +1 being finished, and a Hydralisk Den has popped, but this doesn't really make sense to me, guys. I'm really confused about this situation. How we've got this base here in the top left-hand corner. It's kind of like a hidden base, actually, but now he's starting to defend that location. He's starting to build sunken colonies and hydras in that location. Looks like Mini's aware of this now and gonna send his zealots up to this location. Good job getting that spore there, just in case there was a Dark Templar with this and the Overlord gets killed. Then you would be in a lot of trouble. Now the Hydras are dealing their damage here. Drones are kind of body blocking in the front, along with this sunken colony kind of pushes away those zealots. So good job by Soma to keep that alive for now. His natural looking good and strong here. And where is he going to take his 4th base? As Mini grabs his 3rd at the 12 o'clock position, perhaps Soma wants to push from top left over towards that 3rd base here, actually adding on a cannon, I think, in the top left. Maybe Mini wants to kill those assimilators with the cannon and kind of block that out from happening. But it also is a great attack path in order to send DTs to that area as well. So I'm not sure if he wants to block that off or not. DT heading up towards top left, but everything seems to be very well accounted for here by Soma. He's got plenty of Hydras. He's got a ton of Overlords with the Overlord speed ready to go. And a spore in his top left-hand corner. I think he's got a spore in his natural as well, though I didn't see that. It's like a Dark Templar gonna chop his way through these eggs here and try to open up a path into this center left base, maybe where someone wants to take his next base location, but we're not sure as of yet. It's like another group of Hydras actually going over. Is he going to kill the assimilators or the eggs? We'll see. Here it is, the cannon killing off the assimilator. And the 3rd base now going to get saturated here. Hydra's caught out a little bit, but we'll be able to slide behind these hatcheries here. However, 2 Dark Templars in the mix, and if he focuses down the spore colony, this is going to be a really big problem for Soma. A ton of Hydras heading up here, and drones are being used to kind of body block, but they will have to be pulled away as the last sunken colony goes down. Where are the Overlords? If those Overlords can be prevented from assisting, he's going to lose this Evo chamber. Oh, the Evo chamber goes down at the last possible second. Overlords do pop. Does he cancel that upgrade? I think he did indeed. That's unfortunate. Really wanted to get an armor upgrade or an attack upgrade for those Hydras. You're going to start another Evo chamber immediately here, but really paying for having that in a vulnerable location. Good moves from Mini to make some progress here against Soma, who's so far looked very, very well prepared for every attack that's come through. Just getting under his skin there, finding a way under the armor, and getting some damage on Mini is very, very good for him. Now he looks like he wants to try and go those lurkers through the send those lurkers through the top side, but that's already been dealt with. It's not going to be an option. Hydras are going to come over here and find out. Lurkers are just coming out in defensive position, actually, so not actually wanting to get over towards this location, surprisingly. Soma just continuing to drone, it looks like, coming through with a couple of Lurkers, trying to get a Lurker and Hydra to land here, and he does manage to get 2 Lurkers on the high ground with a couple of a couple of Lurkers. Sorry, did I say Lurker? A couple of Lurkers and a couple of Hydras there on the high ground do get stormed to death and dealt with here. But that was a good idea from Soma to try and get some damage on his opponent. Now, where's this 4th base? He can't be sitting here on 3 base versus 3 base forever as the Zerg player. Droning up is very, very nice. Getting a ton of drones here. He's got really great saturation. He's getting another hatch over at the top left-hand corner. But really, dude, I feel like you need to get a hatch at a new base at this point, because Mini is going to power up so big and really come out with a massive army. Oh my god! Huge damage there. 7 kills on this probe line. I was expecting Mini to pull away to the gas immediately there, but he was a little bit slow, and pulling away to a mineral patch instead means he loses a ton of probes. So a great attack there from Soma. He's continuing with this aggression with the drops here, but it is a 2 Stargate player, 2 Stargate Protoss, so has a ton of Corsairs to kind of fend these off as they come. A Defiler Man on the way, still on 3 bases, going for Defiler Man. This game is kind of breaking my brain right now, guys. How is this a thing? How is this happening? I'm not sure. I guess we're gonna find out how this works. 3 base Defiler against a 3 base Protoss player. I feel like Mini's just gonna have too much muscle with the amount of zealots and dragoons he can produce. He's adding on a ton more gateways, or he's already added on those gateways, excuse me. He's getting his observatory, so he will have observers out here to deal with the Lurkers. But just now it seems Soma moving to maybe take another base. What was that drone? Where's that drone going? It's just heading out to the middle of the map, I guess. Not really sure, but look at that. The Nidus network here in the front. Some kind of lone hydras over here. They must have been dropped into this location. He wants to prevent another base from going down, a 4th base from Mini. He absolutely cannot afford to fight at a base deficit here. Being on even bases is bad enough, but a base deficit, it just cannot be done as a Zerg players. You have to be ahead, or at the very least even on economy, to make anything work. So I think he's gonna go ahead and kill this DT and then snag this base in the center left. That would be my guess, but it feels late. It feels like it's been a little bit too long. 1,400 minerals in the bank. What is going on? Soma got to spend his money. Apparently supply blocked right now. Maybe dealing with a few too many things on the map at the moment, but he does free up that supply. More Corsairs going to get kills though, and more Overlords going to die here. A little bit frustrating for Soma to be continually supply blocked as he's trying to take a base down here at the bottom center that will be stopped and halted by Mini here as he breaks through those eggs. I think the base now coming down at the center left. It's going to be the point of contention here. Of course, he can't get through this location as Mini, but you could push over to this spot. Double expansion now for Soma, so this is a very strange game now, guys. We've got Lurkers out, and Soma, he should be able to hold on against this mostly Dragoon force, but can he secure double bases at this point? Can he take both the natural here and that center left base and make it work, because that will actually put him at an advantage. He will have a base up on Mini at that point, but still 4 base Protoss is very, very hard to deal with. It takes a long time for them to mine out, and just with 2 bases economy, even if the main and natural are mined out, they can still fight really, really strongly. Of course, you keep getting gas, even if it's depleted as well from your main and natural, so tons and tons of Templar with a lot of Archons being added on. It's just a very hard fight for Zerg player. You generally want to prevent Protoss from getting that far in the game. You don't want them to have quite so many bases, but Soma seems content here to just get himself into a good macro position, get his Defilers out, get his Dark Swarms up, and then later on eventually grab those other 2 bases, get into base 4 and 5 in a very slow moving economy game here that I just have not seen before, and I'm kind of liking it. I'm feeling like Soma's kind of trailblazing here at the moment. We're seeing new ideas kind of messed with here, and Mini is just trying to keep up. He's trying to find damage wherever he can, but he's also trying to take more bases. He's got the 4th, but a 5th is potential here in the bottom right hand corner as well. He's already got the support bay, so he will have the speed drops coming up soon. Unfortunately losing that observer for free, but it's fine. Can actually come down here and kill these assimilators and then block that area off so that Soma can't make it through and easily take the bottom center, which is a great move, and that'll also protect Mini spaces. His future base is in the bottom right. Ooh, a beautiful plague there, getting basically every Dragoon in that army. Tons more drones being built. I'm curious to see the drone number at this point. We've got 2,000 minerals in the bank for Mini, 1,400 minerals in the bank for Soma. Both players descending rapidly towards an epic late game here. We've got robos popping up all over the place. Double robo in the natural. We've got probably another robo being built down in the bottom right as well. Can hold off a ton of stuff with some Reavers and Templar and a bunch of cannons. Just gonna back that up. Now Soma coming through with a big push here, throwing down some Dark Swarms. Those are great targets for the Templar to just throw down their storms upon. But a lot of those Dragoons end up going down as the Cracklings run through and kind of surround some of them. Cracklings can absolutely crush Dragoons, but when they're plagued, it's not even close. Just crank through those Dragoons incredibly fast, so a ton of supply going away for Mini very quickly there. And he's now secured this bottom right-hand base, but he's got to get some Reavers down to this location ASAP, building a few gateways in the front and a forge in order to kind of block things back for a minute, buying himself a little bit of time. A nice plague there on some of the back units here. Another couple of good storms in the front, but the Dark Swarm is here. Where are the Reavers? He's got to bring them down right here, right now. This is critical importance here. If Mini loses his base, he's going to be in a huge amount of trouble. There's the shuttle, and Reavers have arrived. It looks like Mini is going to be safe here on this location. This is beautiful. I love this this position here, just having the double. Oh, big plague on those Reavers there. A big dick plague on those Reavers for sure. Looks like a lot more lurkers gonna come running forward here. That is a crazy amount of Zerg stuff. He is completely maxed out, and you can see the map control going over to Soma almost completely at this point. However, Mini securing bottom right is a big moment here, and look at this, another big attack coming from Soma. He's actually switched it up. He's decided, let's not go for the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little bit too much defenses down there. Let's instead go for the natural, but wow, look at how many Templars are pumping out. This is a crazy amount of high Templar. The upgrades are amazing on these gateway units as well, and tons more Archons are about to be produced. Some Reavers are going to pop out here soon, and I think Mini holds both these locations. Yeah, there's the Reavers coming. The Dark Swarm is really helping out here. These Dragoons, utterly useless. I think you just let the Dragoons die, really, at this point. Just right-click the Dragoons out into the Zerg Swarm, because they are not going to do you any good right now. Just kind of wasting supply at this point. You really want to be exchanging those out for Reavers and Templars and just getting tons more Archons. Archon Templar Zealot is the best thing that you can possibly get in this matchup. Big run forward with the Lurkers, but the Storms come down en masse and clean these Lurkers so quickly. Another Storm here on this little gap, but lots more Lings running forward here. Tons more Lings coming up, and the Archons are getting picked off. Not enough energy left. A big drop maybe coming into the main as well. Oh my god, Soma overwhelming here with Lurkers, Lings into the main. There's another Defiler running up here as well, and it manages to survive the storm. Does he have enough for a Dark Storm? He does have enough for a Dark Storm. He's breaking the main base. Soma getting in here. Mini with no money left over. He's lost his main completely now. This main base is forfeit. Nothing to do but start building gateways in the bottom right-hand corner. Maybe just go into Reavers instead, actually. Just build just a pure Reaver force and try to hold that base down there in the bottom right. Maybe get over there and stop the base down at 6 o'clock. Actually, could be really powerful, as Soma is actually trying to take that location right now. Usually when the main base gets killed as Protoss, the game is over, but in this situation, I think that Mini's going to continue to fight it out here. He's still got a good force down in the bottom right-hand corner. He's still got plenty of bases, plenty of mining left over. And he's getting through here and preventing this base from coming up from Soma. So he's actually got more than half the map at this point. If he manages to secure 6 o'clock, his main and natural are mined out. So there's really nothing to be gleaned for Soma by taking out that base, except for dealing with some of the macro here. Bunch of Muta's gonna pump out a Greater Spire now too, so he could be going for some Guardians here soon as well, just to try and deal with the Reaver defense of Mini at this point. Looks like this base will be saved. Mini not taking the necessary precaution to kill those two assimilators at the north part of this base. If he killed those two assimilators, he actually would have prevented Soma from saving this, but it looks like he will be able to save this for now. Oh no, nice job with the Reaver killing that base there, so preventing the base for now. Mini just kind of resetting up his main over down here in the bottom right hand corner, getting all of those buildings that are necessary to continue his production. Of course, his Templar archives, his Robo, his robotic support bay, all very, very important buildings that have to be rebuilt here and are very, very expensive. So he is sinking a lot of money into rebuilding that. Meanwhile, Soma is just focusing on getting at 6 o'clock. That's all he wants right now. And to harass, of course, the bases of Mini, just keep him busy while that base is going down. Oh god, this is open into the main. This could be the end, guys. Soma's found a way in, and he's got a Lurker here at the center right as well. A masterful game here from Soma. I think he's gonna finally take this. Mini has done his utmost best to continuously fight back against Soma here, but finding that little location, that little attack path into the main of Mini in the bottom right, I think that's going to be what breaks the camel's back here. If Mini had actually killed the assimilators down at 6 o'clock, the ones that lead into the main area of the map. I think he could have held on a bit longer. Maybe he could have even tried to take over that 6 o'clock and make this into a fighting game here, but as it stands, he's mined out at 12. He's being attacked into the main and the natural at the same time. He's losing units at the third base as well. The center right base is being attacked at the same time. Looks like the Templar here are actually going to be protected by the Stark Swarm. However, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on in every single location. His supply is dropping rapidly and Lings are flooding across the map here. Soma going to end this one with a bang. Tons and tons of tons and tons of Lings just smashing through each of these locations. The army that was concerned with killing the main base has now been brought forth as well. And this is the Swarm, boys. This is the Sauron Zerg. GG. Mini taps out. And Soma played a fantastically interesting strategy in that game. Really, really cool to see. Something that I've really never witnessed on any map. Not to mention Nemesis, but I feel like that build was built and made for the map. What else can I mention? I think that missing the original scout there in the top left, because you just never do that. Nobody does that. Nobody takes a main base as your third base in Zerg versus Protoss. So I think that was a huge factor. Maybe in another game where Soma tries that again, Mini would actually scout that location and find that base earlier and actually punish, but it worked out beautifully for Soma. Great back and forth between the two, and an excellent game 3, guys. We're going to jump into game number 4. With Mini being eliminated, it's going to be a TVZ. Let's get it going. Well, this series certainly hasn't gone the way I anticipated, but I'm pleasantly surprised here as we're moving on into our next game. We got Mind versus Soma. It's here on Neosylphid. I just want to talk for a second about that last game, boys. I thought that Soma's strategy was really, really cool, and it took big balls to go drops on 3 bases against someone who opened double Stargate. That's pretty impressive, if we're being real here, and it actually ended up working out pretty well for him. I feel like Soma opened up a new way to approach the matchup on that map, which is just to take 3 base, power up really, really hard, use drops to abuse the Protoss as they work up towards 4 base, and then get to defilers and abuse the small chokes. There's plenty of small choked up areas that are very hard to push through when there's defilers defending them. So as long as you're holding the top left-hand corner and the bottom left-hand corner, or the 2 different main bases, then those natural chokes are very difficult to push through, and you can easily snag 5 base as Zerg, and that's the plan. Soma executed it perfectly, and of course there were some great moves from Mini to kind of fight back throughout, but it kind of went the way he had hoped it would go. And now we're here against Mind, and we'll see if he can start to throw off Soma, put him into a position where he doesn't want to be at. In this position, I think that we're just going to see Soma go for 2 hatch. Just go for a regular Muta build and put the pressure onto Mind. Now Mind, he is a very, very strong player. He's a great player, but more so known for his really intelligent play than his kind of crazy strong macro or really, really powerful micro throughout. He's more of a strategist, truly. So it's going to be up to him to find a way to fight back against what will be a powerful two-base muta attack, and that could be a struggle for him. However, the gods of Terran have recently blessed us with this build, the Valkyrie build, which can prevent a lot of the power and kind of negate a lot of the power that we've seen in two-hatch muta in the past. I would be surprised to see Mind do anything else because it's just so strong right now. And Soma's just so good at abusing Terran players with that two-base muta build. So I'm expecting a Valkyrie play here. We'll see how Soma navigates that. Of course, they've both had had quite a bit of practice playing against the Valkyrie build and playing with the Valkyrie build. So it'll come down to, of course, control as usual, but also what kind of moves Soma can put on to deal with that Valkyrie push if it does indeed come. Now, going ahead and grabbing his Spire. This is just textbook two-hatch muta play so far. The extractor being taken immediately after the Spire. Actually, you want to take that extractor at about 100 HP on the Spire. Go ahead and just grab that extractor, and only about 6 slings have been built, so he hasn't wasted any extra larvae here. He's just getting his drones perfectly on time here, going up to 26 supply, popping a couple of overlords, and then waiting on the Spire to finish. Now, these are quite a few Marines here, starting to move out a little bit. The medics are going to come out in time to possibly get a little pushing going on, but it'll be a tight timing here to get across the map in time for the before the mutas pop out. And now that they still hanging out behind this wall, it leads me to believe that we're not going to see a push out here from Mind. There's no point at this stage in trying to push across the map and take a fight there. Now, looks like turrets are going to be perfectly on time here. Mind just going to get these on, get these started here as the mutalisks are being produced. And we're gonna float back this barracks and go into a third barracks. So no Valkyrie build thus far. It still doesn't rule it out. He may end up going for a factory into Valkyrie here shortly, but for now, no Valkyrie being produced. So no scanners yet either. Just focusing on getting those SCVs out, and I like the choice here because he knows exactly what's happening over on the side of Soma. Might as well get extra SCVs rather than those scanners here. It's like standing a little bit too close to the wall there. It does take a Marine loss for free, but Soma, there's a lot of turrets here in the main. I don't know if he wants to dive on this. This is a lot of bulk to get through. And there's the factory, so the tech switch has started here. Mind is moving out on the map a little bit. Does want to take some space here. Doesn't want to be trapped inside of his natural or his main. Gonna dive right on top of these turrets, and Mind gonna react by immediately walking across the map. So 2 turrets do go down, but that's fine. Mind is just going to push forward. Does manage to pick off one of those mutas, and quite a few of them are badly damaged. Some Lings running here into the natural, but Marine reinforcements popping out just in time. Gonna deal with that easily, and Mind continues to shove a little bit farther. Now backing away. I like it. Keeping the Marine medic wall closer to home so that he can reinforce here nice and quick. A Hydralisk Den and a Queen's Nest on the way. So you can see it. Someone not backing off the aggression here. He's going to continue to produce mutas and continue to keep on pressuring Mind as he goes into Hive and eventually into Lurkers and Defilers. Now, still picking off Marines here, though he doesn't have any anything back at home. I think it's going to be up to Soma to take a really good fight against the Marines as this next push comes out, but so far he's not doing the best at taking trades here. Lots of big Marine shots going off on those mutas, and not too many Marines actually being picked off on Mind's side of things. Armory's on the way, and we are going to see a Valkyrie switch here. However, I think that Soma's timed this out perfectly so that by the time the Valkyries actually do end up popping, it's going to be a little bit too late for them to get anything done. The mutas will still be present, I'm sure, but lurkers will be out, and likely the hive will be finished. So you're going to want some science vessels at that point. So this is a little bit of a slower push towards Valkyrie, and I don't think it's going to end up working out in Mind's favor here. Really wants to get out on the map, maybe get some tanks going, maybe get one Valkyrie and then start to push across the map, because Soma is now into his hive tech. Hive is probably about halfway complete at this point, and Soma's kind of playing his game here, his aggressive game. Still no third base, and it would almost be a good idea to start building bunkers at this point out in the front. It's still a little bit early, but this is going to be one of those down and dirty games where bunkers can actually start to save you when you have to fall back to them, when lurkers are pushing towards your natural. Of course, they don't help at all when defilers are present, but you should be able to get out on the map before that occurs, before defilers are out in force. And there's the first few lurkers. I'm not sure if he's aware. There's the first tank as well, so we do have tanks. Tanks are going to be really important, and there's the first bunker. So Mind, he's all on top of this, man. He knows exactly what's happening. Nice shots from this Valkyrie, getting some good bruising onto those Mutalisks here in the natural now. And second Valkyrie is out. I think it's time to switch into science vessels though, because that is a ton of lurkers. Oh god, lurkers may be able to get behind this army and flank into the natural here. Uh-oh, Mind, he's out of position. He's out of position, and he's actually going to get broken here in the natural. Looks like that's a ton of lurkers coming up here, but however, the scan and the flank from both sides, Marines, oh, that was a big shot on those Marines, killing a ton of them, but eventually he clears this. I don't know where those Valkyries were during that fight. They definitely should have been here to help out with the mutas. He does get 2 more shots off though. Just about clears them out. There's the defiler, but it's too late. All of the lurkers have already been killed. Now we'll see what Soma can do with this, but he's in a really bad spot right now. You can see what he's got here on the screen. About 2 mutas, maybe 6 lings, and a lurker on the way, plus a defiler. That's not a whole lot. He can just run forward here and try to kill that. Not going to be able to get it done, but with the tank, just focus on killing that. And he should be able to get it. Pushes that away. Defiler is completely useless now at this point. He's going to run forward, try to gun down at least one of these. He does get one. He will get the other. Both of the lurkers get killed off. And 3 Marines with about 5 medics on top of them are going to be able to gun down a lot. Okay, he does have to back off for now. But the Valkyries are going to run through and just continue to gun down overlords left, right, and center. This is a Mind win, 90% sure at this point. Of course, Soma with 39 supply, really not having much left to his name, is going to try to continue to fight and see what he can do against this this army that's continuously being rallied out by Mind. He's even going to try a counterattack here. It's not looking good, but it does force Mind back for a second, so buying himself a little bit of time. Not the worst thing in the world. Now finally some more Marines are going to come up, and with this amount of Marines and a couple of tanks, I think he can end things here. Another defiler heading out on the map. He's going to try for some sort of counterattack, maybe with 3 lurkers and a dark swarm. Could possibly buy himself some more time. I don't know how much though. These Valkyries running into their deaths, unfortunately. At least a couple of them managed to slip by, but just flying over top of Hydra's not the best plan in the world. Where are all the overlords? Completely supply blocked is Soma, but overlords are somewhere on the map with 34 supply. Now, We've got tanks all set up and ready to go. Lurkers are just in front of this, so Soma holding this back, but if he tries to run up this way, he's gonna get screwed over, and there's the first irradiate. I don't think that Soma can sustain this attack anymore now. He's got a second Defiler, gonna go ahead and get a Dark Swarm, but this is even outside the range of these tanks, so kind of useless at this point. There's mines as well. Oh god, the mines I think really clutch things out here, because trying to run forward with Defilers and the Lurkers, there's nothing worse than running into a bunch of mines. Nice job picking off that Science Vessel. That is a really good move. Grabbing the Science Vessel is huge. There's no extra. Oh, there we go. Irradiate Lurker does get into the natural, will be able to burrow, but just outside of the natural actually. That's not good enough to break this area, and there's more mines here as well. He is going to try to break into the natural, but look at how much stuff there is here from Mind. Tons and tons of Marines. Oh, stay under the Dark Swarm. Oh man, he lets the Lynx run out of the Dark Swarm, and JyJ Mind takes him down. Wow, really good play by Mind. Soma going balls to the wall there. No stomps, just all gas, no brakes, man. But gets shut down by the wall that is Mind. Gets the clapper and the double thumbs up. Well done, Mind. Now we're going to go into our final Protoss versus Terran of the night. It's going to be Mind versus Best. The squad that I thought was looking pretty much the strongest tonight, which was Protoss, is on their last leg. So we'll see if they end up getting eliminated first, or if Best can bring it back. That's coming right up. Okay, Dark Origin going to be the setting for this showdown between Mind and Best. Mind here in the bottom right-hand corner. It is Best in the top left. This map I have compared it to Destination. I feel like it's a better balanced destination is how I'll describe it. You've still got the ramp in the back of your main base, like the double ramp. One goes to the natural, one goes into like a back area with another natural, and there's a kind of a route that goes all the way around the map that you can kind of get towards that back area and attack that. But you don't have the weirdness of the destination natural, where there's like no real way to wall properly, or you know, in any of the matchups, whether it be Protoss versus Zerg or Terran versus Protoss, you just don't have that ability. So in this map, that's been restored. You can actually wall things in properly, and moving towards your third base is a lot easier. It makes a lot more sense. You don't have to cross bridges in order to get your third. You can go to your third, and then you can cross the bridge to get to the main part of the map, the middle of the map. Oh, the gas steal. No, not able to get it. Oh, two-player maps always have this problem with gas steals. Terran often has to deal with this, but Best not able to get it done this time, and Mind snags that away, kind of giving himself a little bit of a tempo advantage here in the early game. But let's go back to the map, what I was talking about earlier. I feel like this map is hella better balanced than the previous Destination, and it was a cool map. Destination was a cool map, but I'm glad to see the ideas being reworked and brought here on Dark Origin. So we've got Best kind of playing a normal game here, just a pretty conservative opener. Gonna be skipping the Zealot, going directly into Dragon. It's exactly what we saw Snow do earlier against Mong. We'll see if he wants to go into Carrier as well, or if he wants to do things a little bit differently than what we saw from Snow today. Now, that didn't really work out for Snow, so I don't think we'll be seeing Carrier here. Also because I don't think this is a great carrier map. I think there's potential here, but it's not a very wide map. There's not a whole lot of space to go around and avoid things like Goliaths. You can kind of tighten up your side of the map here as Terran. If you take 3 bases and you could go ahead and grab that 4th in the backside, you can shore up those defenses pretty nicely here with a lot of turrets and Goliaths. Make sure that you can't really be attacked anywhere without Goliath reacting and defending pretty quickly. Now, I might be wrong about that, but we've only seen a few games on this map. I feel like it's not a carrier map at all. We'll see if Best agrees. Now, Best, gonna go ahead and grab that Nexus. Everything looking on tempo here. The Vulture gonna get out on the map, gonna kind of hide out here on the map, try to find a location where it's not gonna be scouted. And of course, Best gonna look for that and try to put some pressure on the bunker here with that early range. Hey, what else is going on right now? Not a whole lot. Spent a lot of time recently watching Artos's VODs and actually Asmon Gold. I really got into Asmon Gold recently. I don't know if you guys are fans, but I've been watching a ton of his stuff lately since I've been in and out of hospital, so finding some great content there. Of course, always a pleasure to watch some Artosis cast. Glad he's doing more and more of those. The caster Muse Narok Star League is pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Mind has been playing a lot on that, actually. I've seen a lot of Mind games recently, and he's been impressing me, and especially in this last game against Soma, he was really impressing me there as well. So I think we're gonna see good things out of Mind here in the future. Maybe making a comeback. He's kind of one of these long-term players who's been around for ever. Doesn't play quite as fast as some of the newer pros, even some of the older pros, but he's more of this brainier player. He's kind of like a Stork of Terran, if I had to characterize him in some way. More of a brainier player who makes up builds and kind of trailblazes in his race. As for setting the meta and kind of the way that the game is played, for a long time, Mind was the guy to go to kind of figure out how these matchups were supposed to go. And he may end up returning to that similar form in the future. Of course, we do have a lot of great Terran players these days. Royal being one of the major mentions. Ooh, great bait there into that mine. But yes, there's always room for more great Terran players. We can never get enough of those. They often struggle in these different matchups. I know that since we've had so many ASL wins by Terrans, it feels like they're overpowered, but it takes a lot of hard work, dedication to become a really strong Terran player, and we definitely need them to continue pushing things forward in the future. Anyway, let's go on with this game. We've got multiple gateways being added on in the main. Okay, with the observer here in the main base, Best is completely aware of everything that's going on with Mind's build. He's, of course, gonna go ahead and just keep that there, make sure he knows everything that's going on, and how many factories are being made, whether he is producing a starport or not. Of course, there's always the chance Mind may be producing a starport elsewhere, but with this much vision of what's going on in the map, I think that Bez can be pretty certain he knows exactly what's going on and can prepare for any eventualities here. There's this scan. Sees most of what's happening in Best's space.
근데 도재욱 선수의 의도가 좀
I don't know what
궁금한데.
these Dragoons are doing here on the right hand side, but they're kind of chilling.
일단 리버를 쓰죠. 그렇죠?
Reaver's going to be on the way here.
잠깐만 위에 건물이
And what is Mind's plan? I haven't seen a starport yet.
서포트 베이 없죠?
Citadel on the way here.
야, 그냥 이것도 아비터죠.
Are we going to get a
이거 뽑았네요.
arbiter
어디
play?
들어오죠? 서포트 베이가?
Or is this just going to be for speed and eventually
여기 있군요.
okay, it's probably going to be for speed and for storm.
이러면 아비터가 아니죠.
Now that we've seen the
그게 원래 도재욱 선수
shuttle and of course Reaver's going to be produced here. There's a second armory, so actually there's the starport and there's the science facility. Yes, it's going to be up mech here. Best is gonna have to deal with a highly upgraded Terran force that's not quite ready yet, but it is going to be coming here soon. Whoa, a big hole in the defense here for Mind. Easily gonna be abused by Best, but two Goliaths pop forward. The Reaver is evacuated. A fourth base on the way already, Best. With all this information he's managed to get from that early observer in the main, just taking a fourth base very, very quickly. This is out of the vision of Mind. You can see in the top right-hand corner, Mind has that scout there. He's got a mine over in that location so that he can be aware of any extra bases being thrown down by Best, but Best opting to take the center left, a little bit unorthodox, but it's going to come up here very, very quickly and going to give him a nice boost of minerals and gas with which to fight Mind's army here as it starts to move out and try to take that third base. That's probably going to be coming here relatively soon as the factory count increases here. Got what, 5 factories, and there's the command center. So 5 factories, about where you want to be when trying to take a third base against a player with this much macro going on. Best has a lot of units, a lot of gateways here in the main, and shuttles abound to try and bust any third base take attempt. So trying to take an extra base with anything less than 5 factories I think would be foolhardy at this point. Luckily Mind on top of that, he's going to be ready here in just a few more moments. Actually take that. Wow, I'm surprised he's putting a supply depot there. I feel like putting a supply depot in that location, it just chokes up that area so much more. I wonder if it actually helps to like straighten out the units that are going through there, or if that's actually going to hinder him from moving forward. Knowing Mind, he's probably already tested it and knows what that it is going to help, but I can't help but question the decision here. 2 more shuttles there in the front, ready to go. Oh, no pickups here. Oh boy, Best. Best. Losing a Reaver already, and the shuttle is very low HP now. That really hurts for trying to stop this push out, and I think that Mind should be able to do it without too much trouble. Take this third base and push forward. Oh, he's gonna lose it. Oh man, that really sucks for Best, and he's gonna focus down the Reaver as well. Very nicely done. Oh, going for it. There you go. He does manage to get it with the vultures, and that was a big mistake by Best. Best is by no means going to lose this game now because of that situation, but that was a pretty rough turn of events there. Now, just as he unsieges, coming forward with the shuttles, first couple of High Templar pop out, storms go down. 3 storms are cast and complete surround and crushing this army. Hold on, wait a minute. Crazy bust here from Best with those super early Templar. Now going to drop Zealots on top of these tanks and Marines, which are trying to run into the bunker, but this was a very successful bust despite losing their early Reavers. Best going to crush through this push out here, and I think this all really comes down to that massive unsiege by Mind. All of those tanks unsieging at the same time
각이 너무
and
예뻐요.
just getting annihilated there by that push forward. Big mistakes from Mind there. And now he's paying for it very in a very rough way here, pulling a ton of SCVs to try and hold back these Zealots, but the Zealots and Dragoons slowly chopping through this. Now another wave, it looks like. More Zealots gonna drop here with these 3 shuttles on top of all the tanks, actually keeping them in the natural, not allowing them to retreat up the ramp. And SCVs just being focused down here. Unfortunately, that Dragoon does go down, but so many SCVs have been lost here. And the tank count has been completely reset. Mind has to take this 3rd base right now, or he is completely doomed, and I just don't think he's going to be able to do it. Look at the train of Dragoons and Zealots coming across the map here. They're easily going to deal with this single tank pushing forward, along with a few scattered vultures. Now throwing down mines right in his natural. Big storm there on the SCVs. So many SCVs going down. And Mind is just about out of gas here in this game. Best running away with it. 89 supply to 147. Ooh, that is a hard deficit to try and make up here at this point in the game. There's still those 3 shuttles. I think now maybe even 4 in the natural, gonna pick up even more Zealots. Best not showing the best control with his Reaver, but absolutely crushing it with his early Templar and those speed shuttles. So congrats to him. I think he just takes this game now almost no matter what. Where's the command center? I'm looking on the map. I think the command center might have been picked off, unless it lifted and floated like really fast. Because I saw that it was over there at the 3rd base, but it appears that just Dragoons are in that location now. Where's that base? Where's the command center? Oh man, Mind's position is looking so bad right now. Another base. He's gonna take this base, the back natural of Mind as well. Just insult to injury here as that base goes down. I think there'll be no choice for Mind but to just GG out. Now gonna try and kill a couple of tanks here, but loses all of his Dragoons basically for free. That was a pretty rough trade there for Best. However, Mass Zealot coming forward and tons of drops on top of these tanks. All the tanks are gonna die. I think the CC was killed as well, and that's gotta be it. GG. Mind taps out, and Best takes a win for the Protoss. There we go. Firing back, not gonna go down without a fight. Best actually keeping the Protoss dream alive here, and actually keeping my predictions on track. If he can take down one more Zerg player, and then take down JyJ, I will be correct. However, that's still a lot of heavy lifting here for Best. Unfortunately, both his 2 companions there, Snow and Mini, not able to get any kills, which is absolutely insane to me right now. I can't believe that both of them got knocked out in one shot. I think both of them by... Was it both of them by Soma? No, actually Snow got taken down by Mong, that's correct. Okay. We're gonna jump into our next game. It's gonna be Best versus either Jaedong or Queen. That's coming up next. Alright, Mind has been eliminated. Now it is Jaedong versus Best. Here on Heartbreak Ridge, Jaedong, a veteran player, has definitely had plenty of experience with this map, and should be feeling nice and comfortable here against Best. Looks like Best throwing down his pylon in the front. That pylon is so close to where the Nexus should be. It's kind of crazy. Of course, you'd never block your Nexus here as Best, but
그런 맵입니다.
just the way that
지금 보시면
Brood War
7시
looks
구석
visually sometimes is so hard to tell
보시면은 저게
if that's
미네랄
actually
제가
in the way or
겹쳐
not.
있어요. 그래서
Anyway, we've got
드론이
Jaedong
저거를
here.
파괴되면 0짜리라서 계속
Gonna go ahead
할수
and
있는데
grab his
저거
12
파괴되면
hatch.
뒷길이 열립니다.
Should be blocked
그래서
by Best
뒷길로
though.
저글링 난입이라든지
If he's paying attention, yeah, he is.
정말 할 게 많죠.
We'll be able to stop this.
여기서
We'll
일단은
pylon block there, not bad.
파일런 하나
This is a tough map to
딱 꽂아놓고
be forced into this
그래서
position.
프로토스는
The third base is
그
not
모든
in
걸
a
대비하면서 정말
comfortable
간단하게
spot here,
플레이를
I'll say.
하는 수밖에 없는 스타일의 맵이에요.
It's kind of around the corner and up above the natural, so not the best for Jaedong, but he's gonna be fine.
쉽지 않은 게임이 예상됩니다.
Go ahead and grab that. Get a few lings out as well. Waiting for the lings to pop before a cannon is started. There you go. He sees the lings and the cannon immediately started here. Therefore, Jaedong gonna be able to go ahead and get his natural, no problem.
한번 말했잖아요.
And he sees the timing of the cannon, the second cannon as well, so he knows that there's no point in continuing to build lings. Instead, he can just send those back home, try to chase the probe around, and eventually he will be on 3 base here. There's that first cannon, pulling some probes just to make sure that none of the lings manage to slip by here before the second cannon is done. Oh, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna try for it. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful micro there by Best. And he cancels the second cannon. Oh, boy, Jaedong. He done fucked up, brother. That was some sick play by Best. And he's completely figured this out as well. He knows that he absolutely cannot hit any of these buildings without the cannon being in range. And as soon as those lings went down, he knew that he did not need that second cannon, that a run by would no longer be possible. So he cancels that cannon. That was beautifully done by Best, saving those extra minerals. And he's even got the scout in here. He sees the Hydralisk Den. Everything revealed once again. Things not looking good for Jaedong in this match. Best is just all over him, it seems, and one step ahead in every instance so far. We'll see if that continues, but it's looking good for him. This is a very awkward place to hold a Hydralisk bust, I'll have to say. But with this amount of forewarning and notice on the side of Best, he should be able to work a hold here, try to find a way to actually hold this off. I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Citadel on the way. Looks like it's going to be scouted here by Jaedong. So rather than going for a quick Corsair build, because he knows that his opponent has skipped the layer, won't be getting into Mutalisk, might as well go for a quick legs and get those Zealots and Templar out as quickly as possible. That makes sense from this perspective. I think Best, once again, making good choices here and really extending his advantages in this game. He does lose the probe, but there's the layer now, so Jaedong spotting out that legs is going to be researched early, and we're going to skip Corsairs. He decides to go for a layer and actually switch things back up into a possible Mutalisk play. So bit of mind games going back and forth. The information that Best got earlier might end up hurting him in the long run. We'll see though. Could be getting out here very quickly with these Zealots. Look at that, 2 more gateways already done. The legs upgrade should be on the way, +1 of course on the way, and a bunch of Zealots being produced here. He's gonna go for a nice early attack. There's the Spire. It should be an attack before this Spire is done and Mutalisks are out. But it'll be up to Best to decide that timing now. He doesn't have any way to scout his opponent. He has no way to know that Mutalisks are on the way, so this could completely catch him off guard. Generally, at this point, you have a Corsair flying around. You can see everything that's happening, and there's no sort of ambiguity on the map. But as it stands, Best in the dark, he's going to move out with Zealots, and that'll be his source of information. Whatever he sees from Jaedong, he's going to figure out what the plan is here, just based on what he finds. And what he's going to find is a lot of sunken colonies, really doubling down on the static defense here, with lots of buildings in the front and those double sunken colonies to defend. It's going to be hard to break through here as best. Although there are no lings at this location. Maybe Ling's going to pop out here in a second. There's the Zealot speed, and +1 is done. He's going to go after the first sunken colony. Great surround here from Best. That sunken going to go down incredibly fast. Now focusing some drones. He needs to go after the drones and then get this sunken colony. Bit of micro troubles here on the side of Best, but he's crushing through these lings and drones very, very quickly with that +1, just massacring a lot of these units. Unfortunately, looks like unfortunately for him, it looks like Jaedong is going to eventually hold this. The last sunken goes down. The last zealot here about to be taken down, but there's another round of zealots running forward. Maybe 2-3 zealots coming up. 2 zealots. That's all there is. Drones popping for Jaedong at all bases, so that's not good. He needs some more tanking units here to hold things off. This sunken colony actually going to die. Oh god, this is not looking good. He really should have made one more round of Zerglings here before switching things back over to drones. He's going to lose so much. The Zerglings finally do pop out, but drones are dying en masse. And another round of Zealots should be coming here shortly, I think. Oh, it gets one more drone. And no more Zealots are on the map. So DTs, oh boy, DTs coming through. DTs plus a dropship. Oh, Best. Oh, you're so good, buddy. This is such a smart play. And running in here to the natural, there's no detection. He can go after the Spire easily or the drones. It looks like he's going to choose the drones here. Every single drone going down so damn fast. Look at all these kills. GG. Jaedong taps out. Best is the winner. And a perfect takedown here. I'm sad that Jaedong went down, but damn, that was good. Best absolutely crushing it, using the information he gained from that early game to just perfectly counter what Jaedong was doing. Of course, Jaedong had a plan himself, switching back into Midas, but just wasn't able to hold on properly against those Zealots. And of course, the DT drop, just the icing on the cake there. Really nice game. Surprising that you wouldn't have an Overlord in your main base though as Jaedong. Like, why don't you spread Overlords if you see your opponent is going and skipping Corsair? Just spread your Overlords everywhere. You can take vision over your whole base. You can have vision in your main. You can have yeah, you can just have Overlords spread everywhere because you don't have to fear Corsairs. So a little bit of a mistake there. It's fine. Jaedong gets knocked out, and Best gonna move on here. JyJ versus Best gonna be our next game, and we're going right to 8 games today. That does make me very, very happy, as we only have one player from each race left standing. JyJ versus Best. That's coming up next. All right, I lied earlier when I said that this that was our final Terran versus Protoss of the night. This is our final Terran Protoss of the night. JyJ versus Best. Got JyJ over in the top left-hand corner. Best down here in the bottom left. This map is... What is this map? This must be that new map that I can't remember the name of. Of course, every season, guys, this happens. I'll eventually remember the names. Trust me. Trust me. This is the map with that kind of funny center with 4 different... it's like a circle, the minerals in the middle, and 4 different paths jutting off around it. I remember it starts with an O, but I actually can't remember the name right now. Now we've got Best down here in the bottom left, getting the pylon in the main. What's the plan here against JyJ? Because I feel like his plan versus Mind was absolutely immaculate. It worked so well, that bust, as he Mind was trying to take the third base. Of course, there were some mistakes, some timing issues with the Minds moving forward, unsieging all the tanks at the same time primarily, but I feel like it just looks so good, so strong, going for the really quick Templar archives, just getting the storms going up into 3-4 bases and breaking with triple shuttle. JyJ, after watching that game, I'm sure he's gonna be taking that into account as a possibility. It's just something that could be pulled out here by Best, and is very, very scary. Even with 5 factory production, Mind not able to make that very short distance push towards the third base. It's hardly a push, really, on that map, on Dark Origin, in order to take your third base. It's so close, and your opponent has to come across bridges in order to attack you, and still Best cracked it easily. So JyJ gonna be taking that into account here as he starts off his build, getting that quick command center here. Gasless fast expand from JyJ. More conservative build on the side of Best. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen these two builds face off against each other. I feel like more Terran players are going for factory first, but Gasless fast expand, still a very strong build. It is going to require a bunker here and some repairing to keep him alive as the Dragoons kind of deal that damage in the early game. This probe going to try and sneak by, but it does end up getting turned around here as Best spawns out those Marines. Bunker's still not on the way just yet. No Dragoon range though, so these submarines can still fight for now if the Dragoon does come across. Now the bunker should be going down here in a second, and JyJ getting his factory out as well. All the timings lining up nicely. And we'll see what Best decides to go with from here. Is he going to take a really quick third Nexus? Does he want to go straight into Reaver and try to harass JyJ? He's going to need to do something here, because the timing of this CC was way ahead of where the Nexus is at this point. Robotics facility is on the way, so Reaver follow-up it is. I doubt we're going to see anything other than that. Could go for a DT drop, but then we'd have to see a Citadel on the way already. It's just not happening at this moment. Instead, a second gateway on the way. And Best's just going to be macroing up out of this. He's going to be tanking first, of course, getting those early those Reavers going. It'll be up to JyJ to just defend everything nicely, get his tanks and turrets up, and hold off everything that Best has to offer here in the early game. Now, this main base here, really reminiscent of something like Polypoid. It is quite a large main base, but there's not a whole lot of surface area in order to fly in here. You can definitely cover this main with about 3-4 turrets, and then a couple of turrets in the natural as well, just to complete that turret ring. And Best hasn't put on any aggression onto JyJ at all. This is surprising. You know, there was no vulture that came out here. Best just sitting back in a completely defensive arc here. I feel like he's really missed an opportunity to deal some damage with the early range here on that bunker and actually force the repair. He just hasn't done that though. There's still no tank out yet for JyJ, and he could actually skip tanks for now because there's no pressure. There's no pressure on him at this moment. He could just build some vultures and get out on the map, and actually I think that's what he's decided to do. There's a few things, a few red blobs moving out on the map. I believe that's probably vultures. Is it marines? Marines and tanks? Okay, marine and tank, never mind. No vultures. Just moving forward with that marine tank army. I think that would be a bad idea to engage with this. There's already observers and 5 dragoons, so this could actually be a JyJ throwing moment. where he's already put himself in a good position, but if he loses a tank right now, it's gonna be a much worse one. There's the Citadel, so feel like best possibly going for the same thing. No, Stargate. Arbiter, 2-base Arbiter. Okay, best really changing it up here, going for Reaver into Arbiter. You don't really see that too often. 2-base Arbiter with Reaver is like, or is there Reaver? No, actually there's just Observer, so looks like the Reaver call was completely wrong by me. Instead it's just going to be quite a few Observers wandering around the map, plus we're gonna have quick arbiters here out of Bess, and he can absolutely clear all the mines that are being laid right now by JyJ and potentially get a third base here, but the arbiters are going to be coming up very, very quickly, and this is something that was incredibly popular for a long time. Continues to be popular on the ladder as well. A lot of people like the versatility of having early arbiters with the stasis or with the recall. It's a very, very powerful unit, but it's kind of fallen out of favor in the pro scene as of late. So we'll see if JyJ picks up on what's going on here, gets a scan, and actually figures out what's happening on this side of the map. Now, he's going to go ahead and grab a starport here, so he does want to go up mech eventually, going to get into that. And he shouldn't have too hard of a problem taking a third base. I think taking the third base in this on this map is actually kind of helpful in defending your main and natural. If you're gonna take the base kind of south here, that base will really help you to halt incoming arbiter recalls and the like. He's just done a double scan in the main base, not spotting out those arbiters. That's unfortunate. He really doesn't know what's coming here. He's adding on more turrets around the base, trying to figure out what's going on right now, but he's preparing for every eventuality, getting some mines in there as well. Those will be helpful versus the recalls later on, but at the moment, it would be great if he could actually figure out what Best was planning here, figure out what the tech is that's coming, and then he can act accordingly. Oh god, this probe gets trapped. Oh, that poor probe. That did not have to happen, but unfortunately it does now. A wasted supply there, stuck in that corner, and Best really can't do much about it unless he sends a shuttle over there, and I don't think he's going to be building any shuttles this game, just focusing on his Dragoon and Zealot count and going straight for Arbiters. Now, we'll see if this is going to be a recall game or a stasis game. I'm leaning towards a recall game because JyJ is posturing as though he wants to go for a long game, an up net game. Oh boy, he gets that Dragoon on the ramp, and these probes are in super big trouble. Not pulling the probes to the right hand side. He could have run through the pylon wall there and actually saved a lot of those, but he sends them down the left hand path and loses so many probes on the retreat. That was a great move from JyJ. Best just not on top of those vultures, keeping them out of that base. He ends up eating so much damage there. Now he's in a pretty serious pickle here with JyJ macroing up heavily and propelling himself towards his third base, sending out a drop as well. This is going to be tough for Best to hold on against this drop, as well as deal with this push out at the same time. He's just not going to have a timing here, I think, to actually deal with it. Now, this is, I think, the area of this map, this kind of exchange, or it really differs from Fighting Spirit. Now, when I first looked at this map, I thought, this is like a Fighting Spirit clone, but one of the balance issues I think they dealt with very nicely here is having these two ramps really close to each other. In that way, the Terran player can actually siege up on their own low ground and gun down Dragoons that are trying to run up that ramp. And you saw that in full view there in that last fight. Now, the third base, yeah, going to be taken on the right side. That doesn't really help to defend the main from recalls, but there's a lot of mines in the main already. There's a lot of turrets as well. I think recall going to be coming down here very soon, though. And most of JYJ's units are actually at the third base. So this could do a lot of damage. We'll have to see, though. Can he get in here and recall on top of some important buildings? There's a drop coming through. The Zealots are already here, ready to fight. And there's not much damage that can be done. JYJ just gonna fly through, look for, I don't know, somewhere to land these vultures. Looks like he's finally gonna land them here and maybe get a couple of probes, but this is gonna be shut down pretty easily now by Best. Arbiter 161 energy hiding this other Arbiter, and now JYJ sees the tech. I wonder if he's seen this before the drop came in or not. I'm not sure about that one, but he sees it now, and this Arbiter actually not going for the main, gonna go for the third. Here it comes, jumping right on this third. No mines in this location, so tons of Zealots and Dragoons gonna be recalled here. He's gonna focus down the command center as quickly as he can, but this is not many Dragoons, only 4 Dragoons in this stack here, and that's not enough to kill a command center before these units can actually reinforce. He's trying his best, trying to get these, oh, actually, what is this, 5? Oh, he's gonna get it. Oh, it goes down. Brutal damage there. Actually, Best, beautiful first recall, actually doing exactly what he needed to in order to make that commitment into this tech worthwhile. And now JYJ has to restart his command center, and Best already has his 4th base up, and another recall gonna come through here momentarily. JYJ, I don't know where he's at with getting EMP, but he's gonna want to get EMP here pretty darn soon. And another command center, so double expansion gonna be coming up for JYJ here shortly. He's getting ready to take another base here and get onto 4 bases. That's really where you want to be as the Terran player here in order to take fights. Whoa, that's actually out of vision range. The hidden Arbiter chilling there in the corner. Actually, so funny that that's not being spotted, and he's not building a Wraith to go and kill that. So this is that's unfortunate, man. I think that Best could actually get another recall here. Like he could get a recall into the 3rd base and then follow up with another recall here from this Arbiter, or he could get a stasis on the ramp. Stasis on the ramp would be dirty stuff. The base that JYJ probably wants to take as his 4th has already been taken here by Best, and Best's going to be mining up a big portion of those resources before JYJ is ready to make any sort of move. JYJ now 171 supply is about where you want to start to move out 2-1 upgrades, but I think Best can come up here and delay things by throwing down stasis. Oh, he spots it. There you go. The barracks moving forward. It does spot things out. Here we go. Nice EMP. Big EMP on a lot of those units. Does he have a stasis here? It looks like he should have the energy for it, but maybe he doesn't have the upgrade just yet. Maybe didn't see a good target for that stasis. Here we go. 1 more second, and he's gonna have it. He's got it. He's got the recall. Is he going to come in and try to recall here in the natural or the 3rd base? Could get a lot of damage that way if he does, and a 2nd recall out of this single Arbiter is pretty good value here. Even forcing an EMP is pretty amazing if he manages to do it. This was kind of like a throwaway Arbiter. It already did its damage. It already got that recall off. but getting any more value out of that is just icing on the cake here, I feel. We're gonna have a stasis. There we go, stasis on some of these units. And I like what Best is doing. He's just slowing him down. 3 bases here for JyJ, and JyJ actually gonna have to go around and through his own units. Oh, he stasis the Wraith. Oh man, that's so funny. And Best's probably gonna have another 150 energy by the time. Oh, he's got another 100, so he can stasis the Wraith again if it comes out. Oh, that's funny. He can't actually get a recall here, I don't think, but another stasis would be pretty annoying. It looks like these vultures can slow down this base a little bit, but there are cannons on the high ground, so you won't be able to get too much damage going here in the main base. These cannons just kind of shove everything back. And JyJ, he should eventually... Oh, another stasis. Okay. I would have flown in and stasis a bunch of probes there. Why not? Just, you know, get like 10 SCVs in one stasis. That's pretty funny. I don't think it really does that much damage, but your opponent is only on 3 bases. They don't have a ton of income, so slowing that down could be very, very annoying. Now, we've got JyJ finally gonna start to push out here. He's completely maxed. He wants to move forward. He wants to try and take his own 4th. But I don't think that Best is gonna allow it to happen easily. EMP comes forward, but stasis on the science vessel there really quickly just gets rid of that unit. I don't think Best can take a big fight here, but he's gonna come through with the stasis. Stasis into the main. No, stasis into the 3rd base once again. Here we go. Big recall. There's going to be a nice mine there. But this is a ton of Dragoons. He can absolutely focus down this command center now. Oh, he's actually coming down the ramp. That's not what I expected. I was expecting him to go after this this command center here. And it looks like he will now. A big counterattack from the Terran. But, oh, that stasis. Holy crap, so many tanks get hit by that one, and looks like another great stasis here on the back tanks. He's just going to surround and kill these tanks in the middle easily with these zealots, and the reinforcements should be able to deal so much damage to this army. Big cannons on the high ground there. That's really hard to deal with. Another wave of reinforcements coming out here. I think Best's going to take this one, boys. The 2-base Arbiter play and quick recall just working out so magnificently for him this game, and I really don't think I can see JyJ coming back in this one. This stasis group is going to unsiege. Easy kills there for Best. Just going to clean that up nicely. Oh, running right into mines though, and all of the zealots disappear, but JyJ. Oh, okay, we're gonna blame that on the accident, boys. JyJ GG's, and Best gets the clapper. Yeah, that was definitely some head trauma there. JyJ taps out, boys. JyJ is a gunner. Now Best, he's gonna move on to our final game of the night. It's gonna be Queen, the final hurdle here, and I am correct. Look at that, my predictions in the end. Saying SC with the godlike predictions, actually Best and Queen, the final players here, and Terran eliminated first. 6-6. All right, our final game of the night. It's going to be Queen versus Best. Queen over here in the top right-hand corner. Best in the bottom left. It is Blue Storm. That ancient map that's pulled out here. It's not going to be in the ASL, but it is in KCM. I recently casted a classic match on this map. It was a fantastic match between Flash and what was it, Jangbi, I think. It's kind of a fun game. I think I might do some more classic casting. It feels great to be casting once again here.
근데 진짜
was very, very close to being my final cast. The KCM season 1 of 2023. That was almost the final cast, boys, and it feels so good to still be here with you guys casting. And you know, thanks to everyone who has reached out and commented on my post, just wishing me well and all that. Really appreciate it. It's been really nice to hear from you all. Oh god, Best. No. Best. Don't do it. Oh my god. Let's go Nexus first, boys. Nexus first into straight up loss because Queen has gone for a quick pull here. And quick pull, you don't scout with the probe best, and you go for a Nexus first. Quick pull is gonna wreck you here on Blue Storm. There's that nice little path that runs straight through the middle of the map. Whoa. Queen gonna take a base down in the bottom right hand corner. That's funny. A little bit surprising. Forge is about halfway done, but lings are already being produced, and yeah, this is not gonna be good. You really gotta send out the probe after your pylon. If you're gonna go for a Nexus first, you have to get the probe over there and find out what the timing on the oh, really good blocking there, but only able to buy himself a couple of seconds, if that. We're gonna have to pull probes here. A lot of probes are gonna have to be pulled and hold that tiny little choke. I think that's what we'll have to see here from Best. He's just gonna fight everything right at this choke and do his absolute best to slow things down. Only one link can attack. Oh no, he pulls back too soon. Oh boy, he is in a real big trouble now. Oh, 3 links into the main. Not the worst thing in the world, but Queen lings, I think they can do a ton of damage here. Trying to go after that one ling with 5 HP, but just not able to get it. And now he's here with a Nexus in the front, but very, very little for the defense here in the main. Gets one of them, that's not bad. Only 2 lings now. 2 lings, a lot easier to deal with than 3. But Zealot is still a ways away now, and Best is having a hard time mining here in the main base with these lings running around. Despite not losing a ton of probes, lost mining time is a serious issue, and just the amount of concentration it takes to deal with these lings constantly is going to drain him as well. Now Zealot just going to run straight across the map here. He sends it out. Not going to come back and help to defend. Instead, just going across the map. Try to put the pressure on, but I think Queen's seen that. He knows it's coming. 4 lings here. Gonna be enough to deal with that one single Zealot. Second Zealot gonna come into the main, try to push away these few lings here that remain. Going after the drone, not too bad. Best still has the advantage of the very, very early Nexus there. The early Nexus gonna give him that slight advantage. I thought that really Queen was just gonna rally lings and go after the cannon instead of running by. It would have been really hard to kill all those lings with just a single cannon and those probes there, but he decided to go into the main, and now we're in this weird situation where first Zealot here gonna get picked off. Queen still has, I think, 1 ling in the main, maybe 2. No, 1 ling here, still running around, being chased by the Zealot. And he's getting a Spire down in the bottom right-hand corner, so the distance between his bases is severe. There's really long distance here for the defense down in the bottom right-hand corner, but it's not too bad. It's going to be fine because he is going for that Spire. He's going to be putting on pressure with the Mutas, and Mutas are a very fast unit. They can get between bases to defend Zealots, or to defend against Zealots, I guess I should say, pretty darn quickly. The third gas here, actually second gas because the natural gas hasn't been taken yet, is present. So I believe this is going to be a meta game. Forcing the probes off the gases once again. That's very annoying. They're slowing down that gas count. Citadel on the way here after the Stargate and a cannon in the natural, so, or in the main, excuse me. So you may be aware here that the transition into Mutas is coming from Queen, but I wouldn't count on it. I feel like this might just be for this annoying ass Ling that's just been constantly harassing him. But it could also be, of course, for those Mutas that are eventually going to come out here. Now going to go for one more kill, not able to get it. Ling does get picked off, and Zealots are now on the map. Corsair has not scouted out what's going on and could end up getting caught by these Scourge and Mutas here. Ooh, this is scary. Oh boy. Mutas are not on track to actually catch that. Does not react in time, and these Corsairs should be able to go home and regroup here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Corsair there in the middle of the map. Kind of juking and jiving, actually managing to make it away from these Scourge. Two Corsairs plus a cannon. A little bit too daunting here for this Mutalist force to take on. Another Corsair going to be returned to the main base as well. Another cannon, I think, on the way also here. Oh, he's gonna dive. Oh, both the Corsairs get killed immediately. Both Corsairs go down instantly there, and two more Corsairs do arrive, but the cannons are being picked off very, very quickly back at home. Zealots are doing their damage, fighting with these, oh god, he actually pushes it away, and Zealots are still here fighting with the Lings. They don't have +1, but they're doing a great job here of just dealing damage, pushing away drones. He's gonna get 2 drones, maybe a 3rd drone as well. Just Queen not reacting fast enough, and the Zealot speed is now done. He can go after more drones here. Drones down in the bottom right are being killed as well. Oh, this Mutalist bust just going completely sideways here for Queen, and now he's in a ton of trouble. I thought his position from the beginning of the game was looking super, super good, but now with all these drone losses and the Mutas not really doing their thing in the main, I feel best position more and more here. More Zealots out on the map, just kind of running around. We'll see if they can find some more damage, either in the 3rd or the natural. And like I said before, these bases are very far separated. It's a long distance to try and defend down at the 3rd base. If you send Zealots into both locations, the Mutas are going to have to split, or a ton of drones are going to go down in the meantime while they're defending one location or the other. Sunken colony here. Trying to fight with some Scourge, trying to get some connections. Almost gets it, but does pick off a few. Oh, he's actually going to get on top of these last few Scourge. I feel like a bunch of those Scourge went onto a single Corsair, unfortunately. A few more kills here. 3 kills now. 4 kills. Templar gets another kill. About 5 kill Templar. Really nicely done. Perfect play with that Dark Templar while all of this chaos was going on in his natural. And Archon being made. Best position is looking so good right now. We might see another Protoss victory here, guys. This is looking amazing right now for Best, who is prepping, I think, to take a 3rd base now. Could absolutely try to take that. He's got not too many Corsairs left over. I think there was like 3 after those few Scourge connections. But okay, there's 5 now. They've been re-macroed out. But with the Archon, you can't really easily take a fight here with bringing the Scourge forward. Of course, the Mutalist clump can get badly damaged by that splash as well. Oh, he takes one big shot. Trying to do the micro in order to pick off this Archon without taking damage, but it's very, very difficult micro to do, and all the Scourge are dead. Oh man, that's really, really painful. The Scourge just running into Best Corsairs without speed. kind of stopped there and then had to accelerate in order to attack those. He's going to go after the Hydralisk Den. A bunch of Zealots just right-clicked onto the Hydralisk Den. Hydralisk Den is probably going to go down here. Overlord's falling en masse. There's the Hydralisk Den going to go down. Bunch of Hydras are present and killing off a lot of these Zealots, though. And I think this fight was actually not too bad for Queen, despite losing a lot of Overlords and losing a bunch, or losing his Hydralisk Den. He is going to pick off a ton of probes back at best base, and he holds this attack. So I'm feeling Queen's spot here right now. It's not too bad. After that fight, of course, the third base is now down. I still feel like that probably wasn't enough to make up the deficit, but reasonable, really reasonable trade there. I feel like Best throwing away some of his army, kind of handing back a bit of control here to Queen. Oh, he's gonna get found, I think, with the Corsairs. Oh, maybe not. Corsairs looking for those mutas, but not able to find them. There they are. He does see them now and will track down every single muta, so that's a rough thing to happen here for Queen. To lose every single muta now. He has gotten a lot of value out of them, a ton of probe kills, but they are now extinguished. Hydra Den now in the third base. That is a nice tight location. Will be very difficult to pick off the Hydralisk Den in that spot. I doubt Best will try that again. Right-clicking the Hydralisk Den just did not work out for him in that previous attack. Now, Queen, he's on even bases at this point. At fourth base on the way for him. Going to be powering up once again. This is not a map where you can stand as Soma did against Mini and just sit on 3 bases. Try to go into Defiler. There's way too much open space here. Oh boy, that's so many Overlords down at third. Corsairs finding that location could be devastating, but looks like he does push that away for now. Trying to capture these Corsairs, however, he may end up getting surrounded himself. Best army is just above this or below this location. He's going to come in and take this fight. Tons of Hydras in both spots. Going to have to retreat here from this area. And oh, nice job gunning down the Corsairs. Really good use of those Hydras that ran around the top side. Splitting his army nicely there in order to escape death. And Best, he almost had the pincer attack there, the kind of game ender that could have just crushed that army, all those Hydras, and then pushed in towards the natural. But now, Queen, he's got lurkers out. He's going to be flooding the center here with a ton of lurkers, setting up a big wall. And the observatory is just done now. So with the observatory just finishing up, there's not going to be any observers on the map, and this gives Queen a massive window of opportunity in order to drone up heavily, possibly take another base down at the bottom center. Hive is on the way, 4 bases here to 3. Queen is making this into a really serious game now. With those lurkers out in the middle, it's gonna take forever for Best to get prepared for this. Oh, Templar on the high ground could be gunned down. Nope, not going to be. Oh, drop ship trying to fly into the main base, but does get picked off by the Scourge. So no headway made there from Best. This is a massive main base, by the way, on Blue Storm. There's so much space in the back of the Zerg main, or the main base in general, with which to drop. There's just a massive dead space back there. That if you get a couple of Templars, Dark Templars loaded in and drop there, there's almost no way you're gonna spot those coming in, and they could end up dealing a ton of damage. But Queen a great job of preventing that from ever occurring, just picking off that shuttle. His wall of lurkers here in the middle is looking nasty. This is a massive high ground area that will be desperately hard for Best to try and break. Now, throwing down a storm on a unburrowed lurker, that's not a good idea. The lurker just runs out of the way, and more lurkers burrow behind it, and Best makes no progress in that area, just picking off a couple lurkers, a few hydras, and forced to retreat once again. Oh, making this Archon in the front is a bad mistake. Losing an Archon for free there, really a tragic loss for Best's army. That's Archons are massively important, especially when the Ling transition has started. There's so many Lings being popped out now. The Zealots running forward, just getting massacred by these lurkers, and there's no observer here to help out. That observer not actually being placed in the front. And I think one of the observers did get picked off as well. Now this observer here running forward. Storm on top of his own observer, kills it again. Ooh, that's not good. Best really ruining his own progress here, his ability to move forward, being hindered not only by Queen but also by himself. No additional bases have been taken by either Queen or Best, but I feel like Best could take another base at this point. He's just really focused on breaking through this position, and it's not going well. A ton of Lings and Hydra's going to be sent forth to reinforce this position. Massive Ling wave coming up here to kind of push everything back. Hydra's going to go after the Templar. Really good snipes here. Only one High Templar's left. He could absolutely focus that down. He does. And all the High Templars are now dead. There's not too many lurkers left over, though. One observer. Can he actually get it? No. The Overlord gets picked off there. Tons and tons of Lings lurkers on this kind of high ground area. But Best has broken through. He's trying to get down here. He's trying to cancel his fifth base, excuse me. Fifth base looks like it will end up going down. That's not the biggest loss, though, for Queen. He can just cancel, refund most of his money. He tries to run in here with some lurkers from behind, but not enough to hold things back. Here is the Defiler now with the Dark Swarm. Should be able to hold on. It's too bad, though, that he didn't manage to hold on to that high ground until the Defiler is out, because that would have been a great position for him to hold with Defiler and Dark Swarm. Now I'm going to come up with a bunch of lurkers here, trying to hold on, not allowing Best to move around the bottom side. Massive amounts of Lings and Hydras being spilling forth here, trying to surround and crush this army. There's no more storms left over. This Archon in the back, you can see how important Archons are here, as they're just massacring these Lings as they try to run forward. Oh, the storm! The storm of the century there just crushes those lurkers as they run forward, and I feel like Queen, his back may have been broken after that storm specifically goes off and just annihilates all of those lurkers. Bunch more Lings coming forward. I think they actually have cracklings, yes, just ripping apart these Dragoons and Zealots. Zealots running into this tight corner here. Dragoons in a massive ball, but no more storms are available. There's only one Templar here in the mix. Two more Templars coming down. Oh, go after this Templar. He has to go after them. No, not paying attention. The Lings missing the opportunity to dive on two fresh Templar that could have been taken out there and really helped his position in this situation. Third base, fourth base area not going to be stopped at the moment, but now Best is actually taking this high ground and pushing up towards these lurker eggs as well. Lings coming in from every direction, but there's just too many Zealots here. Burrow. Oh, the storm right on top of the burrowing lurkers, crushing their numbers, and they all end up going down super duper fast. Another Storm Boy over here. Looks like he's going to get picked off, but Best pushing in for the win now. Lurkers coming from every direction, and Queen desperately trying to hang on. I don't think he has the production, though. 1,200 minerals in the bank, 700 gas. Where are all those, where are all the production? Where's all the larvae? He needs to be hitting those macro cycles and producing here in order harder to keep up. I feel like with 1,500 minerals, if he'd spent that money into units here as this attack was coming, he probably should have been able to hold that off, but he's still hanging on just barely at this moment. No more lurkers though, and GG. Wow, Best takes him down. A bit of a macro slip there at the end from Queen, I feel. But Best crushes it out, takes the win and the clapper from KCM. Look at that. How many kills did he get there? I think that was 3 kills, 4 kills. Unbelievable play there from Best. A great showing by him. And a Protoss taking the win. Wow. All right, there you guys have it. Our score screen for this week. Protoss with the win once again, now at 4 points. And Terran starting off like they did, was it Season 3, 2022? Jesus. Just a flat line, no sign of life at all. Actually, I'm kidding. Plenty of life from the Terran players in this group, especially Mind. I was playing very nice games today. Unfortunately, did not end up going their way. And Protoss gonna take that victory. Beautiful by Best as well. Like, I don't think did Snow take a victory? No. Did Mini take a victory? No. It was just all Best, man. Best showing up huge. And I hope we'll see more great games from him in the ASL in the future. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you again for all your well-wishing on my previous post. I am doing much better. As you can hear, I'm still all there. Funnily enough, I do have a lot of comments of people asking me if I believe in Jesus, and I'll say to you, my one true belief is in the Overmind. So if you want to convert to my religion, all you need to do is give me all your money. And yeah, just join my Patreon page. That's it. I am your overlord. I'll see you guys in the next one.